So, Alan,
Yes, Michael.
do you believe in life after love?
I believe in a lot of things. Life is interesting. Sometimes it's just you're just doing your life, doing your thing, and then out of nowhere, something just goes in and just poisons you, It's
Like
kinda,
an appendix?
kind of like an appendix, yeah. So sometimes you're just doing nothing, then all of a sudden, it explodes, and you have like appendicitis or something. Isn't that scary?
Life's unpredictable like that.
It's unpredictable like that, but despite all the unpredictability of the world, sometimes you just need to relax. Sometimes you just need to unwind. Sometimes you just need to settle down. You just need to realize that everything is going to be all right. And we hope to take care of that for the next 50 or so minutes. This is the Just the Two of Us podcast.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I.
Hi, I'm Alan Agostino.
And I'm Michael McDonald.
Welcome back to another riveting episode of the Just the Two of Us podcast. Hope you're doing okay. Lovely weather out here in the wonderful East Coast area of places of residence that we are currently at.
Yes, it's been a very lovely day. And before we get into it, I would just like to thank the overwhelming support of the last episode. I mean, we got so much excitement for all of you guys listening, and we're just happy to be back and happy to be giving you some fun content during these trying times.
Yeah, certainly was a very overwhelming response. Almost a meme at this point with how good the response was. But, we are very thankful for all the support, and we hope to give you lots of great content in the near future. And, hey, look at this, another episode, It's like we did it, That's
It's more than, hey, look, this a year ago.
If we get a third episode, then we've officially beaten our record,
Oh, we have to at this point.
It's destiny a little bit, But, we're here, we're ready, we're talking, we're vibing. The appendix is out. We're just...
Yeah, the appendix is out, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We're
living, we're vibing.
We're vibing,
Yeah.
No toxicity, no poisons.
Not here, not in my bedroom.
I don't think there's any.
No, just good vibes in here.
Yeah. So Disney Channel.
Well, you just talked about a very big milestone in Disney Channel history the other day for a project, did you not?
I did. Did I?
I believe you talked about some concert from 2009 with Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers.
That wasn't a concert. That was a charity single. So I'm in a class where, funny story. So first of all, you ever do like a big presentation and you like spend all this time, put all this hard work into it just to make it like the best it possibly can be, and then you find out that you did the wrong presentation topic?
Basically, I would do everything you just said right until the part where it was not the right thing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have messed it up to begin with because I'm awesome like that.
Okay.
But hey, we all make mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
As Hannah Montana says, everyone makes mistakes,
Everyone makes mistakes, And
everybody has those days.
And as Chris Martin once said, when you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want, but not what you need. And I needed to do a project on volunteerism, but I instead did a project on the history of the media industry in the nonprofit sector.
What's worse? They both sound kind of boring.
Well, I mean, my project got to appeal to the nostalgia goggles, really got to just make it all nice and cringe, and it was nice, but the big problem with my project is, like I said, not what I was supposed to do it on. So it was a good presentation, though. I had to put a lot of time into it, put a lot of effort into it, and I think it went over well. One of the things that we were mentioning is the charity single, as the recording industry likes to do sometimes. One of those said a charity single is coming from the year of our Lord 2009.
What were you doing in 2009?
I don't know, probably being a 10-year-old or something.
It was the second season of Star Wars The Clone Wars, so I was definitely vibing as a fifth grader.
Nice.
Yeah.
You were not in fifth grade in 2009.
Fourth grader, probably.
Fourth or third. I was in fourth grade. You were probably in third.
I don't remember. That's so long ago.
Yeah, passage of time, isn't it?
It was elementary school. Let's just go there.
Yeah. Send It On was the name of the song. It featured just about every single schmuck in the Disney Channel that was relevant at that time, I think.
They probably did.
Jonas Brothers were the big ones. Selena Gomez, maybe.
Probably.
Demi Lovato.
Definitely.
If the Jonas Brothers were there, she was there. They were kind of like a package deal just because that's how big of a thing Camp Rock was.
Everyone always forgets about the fourth Jonas brother, Frankie.
I think Frankie didn't want to be famous.
He doesn't, but I think he's like famous on TikTok now.
Maybe. But
I heard he's cool.
I would imagine he would be, but imagine being the bonus Jonas. The one that doesn't play all the instruments and was just used as a gag on a television show. I feel bad for him in a way.
He was on that. He was also in Camp Rock 2, I think.
I gotta be honest with you. I haven't seen Camp Rock 1 or 2.
Wow.
I don't think.
Hold on, time out. A million screams were just,
I don't think a million people watch this podcast, so it was probably more like 15.
Well, the ones that probably will be listening will definitely be jealous. Or
I'm
going to
be completely honest with you. I have a sneaking suspicion I'm not missing out on much.
You definitely are. They're really not fun movies.
They're made for a certain audience.
Let me set a scene for you. It's
a camp with a bunch of people and they rock.
We're talking about Camp Rock 2, right? A rival camp star moves across the lake, right? Now here's the kicker. Camp Rock decides we should go introduce ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they literally storm over there in like this big choreographed scene, just screaming Camp Rock and clapping their hands and dancing like fools.
Is this supposed to be like a battle, like a war cry kind of thing?
I guess it was, but it was stupid because
they're musicians.
Just imagine Demi Lovato leaving a pack of 30-year-olds trying to be, children, doing Camp Rock. Like
I appreciated the sound effect of that.
Yeah, that's what they did basically.
It was a nice little knee slapper there.
Yeah.
What is even the point of this movie anyway? Do you want to give me the abridged summary of Camp Rock 1?
So basically Demi Lovato's so poor that her mom has to basically get a job to be a caterer to go work at Camp Rock so her daughter can get in for free. But here's the kicker. Her daughter has to be a cook with her. But here's the other kicker. Everyone else at that camp is rich, even though it looks like your classic middle class kind of summer camp. It doesn't look like anything special, So basically she has to hide the fact that she's poor and not show who she really is. But then she sings a song one time, and then Joe Jonas is like, wow, that's a great voice. And then it's like basically Cinderella, where he has to find the person with the voice until the end when she sings at the final jam. And he's like, that's the song. That's the first one. And just the second one's just a camp war. A camp war, rival camps.
Is there a Camp Jazz?
It's like Camp Laszlo, if you remember that on Cartoon Network.
I think that's probably not the same probably, but let me ask you this. Is there a Camp Jazz? I just need to know, is there a Camp Jazz?
No, it's Camp Star. That's the rival camp.
Oh, that's so stupid.
It is pretty dumb, yeah. Disney Channel movies are just weird.
You have to wonder what the purpose of them is, Is it like a money-making ploy? Is there like a soundtrack associated with it that's supposed to get a ton of streams?
Well, definitely Camp Rock had one.
They probably, I don't know what like the whole thing is, because were there big premieres for these like on the Disney Channel? Was it like a one-day thing, or was it like
Fridays at 8/7 Central? Almost every week they would have a new movie.
I wonder if like the advertisers for those things were just hammering at the bit to just get their products out to these kids, watching these Camp Rock movies.
Well, here's the thing. You had like High School Musical, for example. How many of those people, like Corbin Bleu, had his own movie, Jump In, which was just, double Dutch, jump roping stuff, which I'm not my favorite. Don't really care for that one.
Never seen that one either.
Yeah, unfortunately I have. I don't really care for it. But like all these the side characters will eventually get their own movies. If you look at Sunny with a Chance, another Demi Lovato hit. The rival, I don't know, the guy on the kids or the other show, people will know who I'm talking about. He plays in another movie called Starstruck. I forget his name.
Was he like an attractive blonde looking fellow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget what the show that there was Sunny in a Chance. Like I forget what the show was called.
Was Sunny in a Chance set in like the same cinematic universe as like something else? I
don't know. I could tell you Jesse and Austin and Ally are in the same universe. I think a lot of the newer ones and Ant Farm, they're in the same universe, which is kind of weird. Disney was having a cinematic universe long before Marvel had a cinematic universe.
I think that was just done for convenience, the necessity.
Oh, I mean, none of them were out of space, like outer space or anything. They're pretty down to earth kind of things. So they're all in different parts of the world or country, I should say, because Disney really doesn't go international,
Yeah, I don't know. So if we kind of break this down a little bit, so I'm still annoyed that there's no Camp Jazz, by the way. Like they have such a perfect opportunity to have.
Why don't we
Jazz.
make a third movie? They never got it. They never got a trilogy.
Never had one. It's okay, new generation Camp Rock. Rock is so stupid now. Instead, it's Camp Trap. But in order to defeat the Trap kids, it's camp jazz, and it's like they play saxophone and everything. It's all nice.
Oh, artsy.
Yeah. Think of it like this, because camp trap can be like all these TikTok kids and whatever, and then we'll have the second one that's like all camp jazz and whatever. It'll be nice and trendy, you know.
The classy people.
Yeah, we'll have Harry Styles be in it.
Oh, don't say that.
Why not?
Because he's not a good actor.
Don't say that.
He's
I think
not.
more people just screamed
Yeah,
the Camp Rock thing.
Everyone's like, "Have you seen Dunkirk?" I'm like, "Yeah." He sits there and he tries to basically.
Isn't that like most of the cast of that movie though? In playing devil's advocate on that one.
Yeah, but like he just doesn't do anything.
Okay.
And then I mean, like, sure, he's got some good music. I'll give him that. He can sing, but like acting, I just don't think he's a good actor. You know. And I know I'm going to get some heat for this, but sorry, hot take. I apologize to any Harry Styles fan who thinks he's the best actor who ever graced this earth.
You know that he's like in a relationship with Olivia Wilde now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, do you know who does care? Her ex-husband, Jason Sudeikis.
Really?
Yes.
You mean the guy who was high at the Golden Globes?
Yes. Apparently, he didn't even know that they were a thing. He I think, kind of found out that Olivia left him for.
I guess it's an upgrade, I guess, for her.
Well, I mean, Jason Sudeikis is probably a good guy. It's like they have kids together,
Yeah, I guess that's probably.
It's like, you ever see Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
It's like the dad in Rick and Morty. Jason Sudeikis is basically like that, just like in real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. But Jason Sudeikis is cool, though.
Yeah, he was in plenty of great movies, like We Are the Millers. And
Are you guys getting paid?
And was he in Horrible Bosses?
I think he was in Horrible Bosses.
Okay, yeah.
The great movies.
Good comedies,
Jennifer Aniston was in Horrible Bosses, and
so was Charlie Day.
Charlie Day.
Yeah.
I watched a movie. I forget what it was called. But Charlie Day was a bad guy, and I just couldn't take him seriously.
Because it's just Charlie Day
It's just
being Charlie Day.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't take him serious. He was like a bad guy. I'm like, really?
Are you really though? It's like the Wreck-It Ralph. It's like, just because you're a bad guy does not make you bad guy.
I just was like, I'm just thinking Always Sunny right now. I can't see him being something of a serial, like a murderer kind of guy,
But
know.
instead, he's just Charlie Day being Charlie Day things. You know?
He's like, I need a helicopter to get myself out of here. It's like,
It's Always Sunny is such a chaotic show. You ever wonder if like the Disney Channel had like a show like It's Always Sunny, not like in the same kind of tonality, but just like that kind of style of comedy,
Well, Disney did something of a more adult show called Andy and Mac. It was on for like at least I think 2 seasons. It basically was like this girl who is like she lives with her. I want to say I forget. I just remember the big plot twist is she thought her sister was her not. It wasn't her sister. It was her mom actually. Her mother had her as like a teenager. It was like this whole big revelation, and it was like one of the first shows where they discussed like LGBTQ stuff like that. Like they kind of had a character going through that. Like it was like a very adult show for the time on Disney, and I think it only got like 2 seasons because I think people were like, no, my child can't watch this.
not the gay show. No.
I vaguely remember that one, but that was a little past my time of watching Disney Channel,
Yeah. I can't say I actively partake in what's currently happening on the network right now, sans Star Wars and Marvel and Soul with music from Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor, which is
was there really like the Pixar movie?
Yeah,
like
Trent Reznor did the music. Yeah, the weird guy that makes the weird sex music sometimes. Yeah, him. I know, crazy
for a kids movie. I guess it wasn't. It's a kind of a deep movie.
I've been told that movie's not for children, and it's actually like an adult movie, just in the disguise as a kids movie.
I mean, yeah, because the guy dies.
Spoiler! Oh, God, dude.
Well, they kind of hype. It's in the trailer. It's not a spoiler.
I know. Just you just ruined.
It's about finding yourself, but I get what Pixar movie isn't about finding who you are as a person.
I'm just saying, I can already tell it's going to be a better movie than Camp Rock because that has something to do with jazz. There's jazz in that movie. There's no jazz in Camp Rock. Why is there not a Camp Jazz? They have such a perfect marketing opportunity to have a Camp Jazz.
It was 2007. No kid was listening to jazz at the time.
Well, maybe the kids these days need to stop listening to their trap music and go back to the old days.
God, you sound like an old man.
Yeah, not Pink Floyd. I'm talking Miles Davis and John
anyone
Coltrane,
who listens,
baby.
you could tell a fake Pink Floyd fan if they say "Dark Side of the Moon."
Yeah,
is
no,
their
everybody.
favorite.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, it's
both
like
knows
it's just an overrated album.
It's not over. It's a great album, but it's no. It's no Animals. Animals is my personal favorite Pink Floyd record. I host a show with my one buddy that we sometimes talk about on the show called Plugged In.
Oh, really? You got to name drop that show.
Well, yeah, we can because it's just essentially just the me being a complete just dickwad
It's
show.
the time for you just to rant about whatever the heck's going on in the
Geek culture.
The geek culture.
And
yeah.
we talk a lot about music, but it's not like music most people care
Most of the
about.
time, I
It's
sit
like,
there and I'm like, "What are they talking about?"
It's just like just vomit music, you know. We call it patrician music because it's music that people on the internet say is cool, so you know it's cool.
But is it cool though?
No, it's been jokingly virgin music is also.
Wow, that really got deep.
I mean, yeah, but you know, it's fine. A lot of great LPs. I'm not going to vomit you a bunch of the stupid albums that are on the essentials list on 4chan, but it's quite a lot. You know, if you want to take like a nice artistic journey, there's a lot of great places to start.
I'll stick to my late night jazz.
I think you'll stick to your late night jazz.
I'll stick to my late night jazz.
And you know, probably your favorite album of all time, probably The Stranger, Billy Joel. Probably up there.
It's up there. It's up there. It's up there.
It's
definitely up there.
What's your number one favorite? Is it Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon?
No,
Loser?
no. I don't have a favorite album. I don't really go by album. I just go by songs. I really don't do that because I'm not the kind of guy to say like, oh, that album's the best. I really just like I'm really a music snob either.
So what you're saying is you're not a virgin.
Yes, I guess if you really wanted to go as far as that, yeah. But no, music's more your thing. You know, my thing's more movies and stuff like that. So I can go on and on about that. But no, music, I listen to the songs. I don't do albums.
You could get started with albums, though. You know, you would like them.
Well, seeing that I have a record player now, I probably should.
That's kind of how that works. Yeah.
Yeah. So I probably should. If either that or just get the greatest hits if I can find them.
Oh no! Don't show the
It's
greatest
too late.
hits.
I already have one. Actually. No, hold on. I have I don't think I have any greatest. No, I feel like I have a greatest hits album somewhere.
Is it Billy Joel's greatest hits?
No,
Elton John's greatest hits.
The only Billy Joel. Oh, it was Elton John's greatest hits. Yeah.
Okay, it was a coin flip. It had to be
Yeah.
one of those two, wasn't it?
It was Elton John. I have 52nd Street for Billy Joel. That's what I have on vinyl, which is
Okay,
nice.
52nd Street classic.
But Elton John, my favorite one I have is Elton John. So it's kind of like my baby. It's my pride and joy.
Your go-to, just classic.
I just love Elton John. You know, he's got good music.
It's got good music, you know. Great biopic as well, musical biopic. You know, Rocket Man, Taron Egerton.
Good movie. I definitely. I was kind of went in with the expectation that it was going to be like Bohemian Rhapsody, but no, it was more.
You mean bad?
No, it's definitely more of a musical. Like I could see that Rocket Man becoming a Broadway play in the not so
Distant future, perhaps?
Yeah, I could definitely see it becoming more of a Broadway musical, which I think is maybe what it was intended to be as, just to see how audience would react. But I enjoyed it more than Bohemian Rhapsody. I'll tell you that.
Probably because it was just a better movie.
Well, Bohemian Rhapsody was just it did not show.
It was the censored MCU version of Queen, and that's just not what people wanted to see adapted onto the big screen.
Because it's definitely not. That band was not a PG-13
band.
No.
Very, very explicit. It's like there's no cocaine on midgets. You know, that part wasn't in the movie. I'm like, oh, come on, that's so integral to the Queen story. You know.
Yes, but actually, no.
I mean, a little bit. Because there was actually a party that happened with Queen with the midgets doing cocaine.
I'm aware.
Yeah, it was a legendary experience. I found that out from Reddit.
Oh, so is it trustworthy?
Probably, yeah, because I think it was an eyewitness account from someone actually at the party. British socialite, you know.
What do they have to lose, right?
Yeah.
Their reputation.
Who cares? They're rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Camp Jazz.
No, we're done with the Camp Jazz. You know what we do have to talk about, though?
What do we do have to talk about?
We have to talk about something that's been on my mind.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Always. You're always on my mind. But we have to talk about jobs.
Oh,
because you're in the
I'm in the job market hunt. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm doing the thing where I'm trying to find work in my industry of choice, and preferably only my industry of choice, because that's kind of why I've spent a lot of time, effort, and money with this program that I've devoted the last 4 years of my life to.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but we at least can say no weddings. No weddings.
So in my industry, there's multiple different tiers to what we do. There's like video production, there's television production, there's film production, there's doing tech work for universities or other organizations, there's like general oversight and management.
News writing.
And then there's the wedding industry, or the events industry, as you can call it specifically. But normally, events is just a fancy schmancy word for weddings. Weddings are the single most toxic part of our industry, hands down. It is just the worst. The pay isn't like terrible. Like for some people, weddings are their like expertise, but it's just so bad.
When you get someone coming in who's already planning a wedding asking you to do something they think they know more about than you,
it's like, no.
it's like, oh my God, can you do this kind of shot? It's like,
Also, you just get overwhelmed by the fact because like weddings can be a very overwhelming thing, even if you're like a guest. But if you're like if you're having to do something for a client,
you have to, you can't miss a beat. If
You
you,
can't- you can't
if
miss
you
a
don't
beat.
get the right shot, if you miss something, that's it. You can't say go back.
No,
No.
oh, go back, do that again. No, that's not.
It's
how,
a live thing. It's essentially just a live thing.
It's essentially just like a live. It's like almost like doing like a live stream. Only you have to make it look pretty. And at the same time, you have to put all that work in the post production, and all the color correction, all the audio getting whatever. Is this a thing where you have to record audio at the event, or is it just like a montage set to music? If you have to record audio at the event itself, oh, you're screwed.
Oh,
those speakers are terrible.
They're so bad.
captured on film and video.
You're
and
gonna
stuff
have to
like
go
that.
and lay mics throughout the pews or up on the the altar. Like that's just it's
It's nightmare, absolute nightmare. And imagine having to get audio at the reception. Oh my god,
I couldn't imagine.
it would be terrible.
As someone who's done some events with crowds, not for weddings, but for crowds like with that size and capacity, it is hard to get good audio.
It is. Most people just say no. Screw the audio. I'm just going to get just some pretty pictures, pretty shots, and hope that the finished
I'll put
product.
some
turns
nice
the final.
stock music
nice
over it.
stock music in the background. I don't want to hear your voices. Pretend I'm not even here. Give me my headphones. Let's do this. It's like. Also, you also have to deal with potential drunk people. Oh my god, you taking a picture? Are you taking a video? Take a video of me, Mr. Video
Well,
Man.
that's just that's kind of anything.
That is kind of anything.
anytime you're a person with a camera,
Yeah.
or any type of social function, you're always gonna
you're
you're
a
a
target.
magnet.
You're
You're
a
a
target,
magnet for people like that.
And you're like, I'm not getting paid enough for this. God damn it. And the bridezillas, not even the bridezillas, groomzillas, or not even the groomzillas, families of both bride and groomzillas.
Weddings are just they're just tough.
They're just bad, Doing weddings would make you appreciate your own wedding that much less, because it's like, all this extra stuff and all this extra crap and all this extra planning and everything else, and you have to go out of the way, and it's like it's so overwhelming, As a content creator, you kind of want some sort of like a routine, some sort of like kind of experience where you know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah, there's going to be variables and things can change, blah, blah, blah. But you kind of just have like a set idea going in. Okay, here's what's going to happen. I can kind of be organized. I can kind of go with the flow. If anything happens, I can adjust. Weddings, complete just gambit as to what could happen.
You have to get you got to get the money shot essentially of them saying I do and going for the kiss. Like that's if you miss that, then
That doesn't even matter. There's like a million money shots you have to get. There's like
walking down the aisle, maybe even before if you're back in the room before all
maybe
the
they might ask you to get pictures of like the dressing room or like the whatever the
party, the bridal parties.
the bridal party, the groom party if relevant and things like that. Yeah.
It's kind of nerve wracking.
You shouldn't be like giving that kind of level of anxiety onto yourself and doing that every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And especially during like wedding season where there's a lot of people getting weddings. Sometimes you have to do multiple weddings a day. Oh my God, terrible.
Here's the thing though. Would you ever do it? If I had an opportunity to do something, be a part of something, I think I would do it.
I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Even if the pay was good. No, that's just a level of stress that I wouldn't want in this industry. Everything else, I'm just like A-okay with, I like the stress of being in a controlled environment with a studio. I like the stress of working in like a film production or like a big production. There's lots of different moving parts, but normally you have like a set agenda. You have a set kind of schedule. Everybody is like in constant coordination with you to do something big. When you're doing videography for weddings, 9 times out of 10, it's just you and only you. So that's all. It's not like sitting in front of your room and doing a YouTube video. There's no do-overs. You mess something up, you're screwed.
You're not getting paid.
No, you're not. And the last thing that you want is in a very tense event already, pissing off somebody just could completely kill the mood of that whole day, and it'd be your fault, even if it isn't actually.
Yeah. So no weddings for you, essentially.
No weddings. It's kind of funny. I actually applied to a random city council audio video tech position, keeping anonymous for just, anonymity's sake,
Yes, of course we don't want to do that here,
which is interesting that they're actually hiring, but it's like, okay, I'm definitely qualified for this. I'll throw my head into the ring. Am I going to get a response?
We could be optimistic.
I could be
You'd
optimistic.
be a little more optimistic than you let on.
Well, maybe. I'm not sure. Actually, I probably can't be. Let me tell you a little something about the job market, at least in my industry. This might be just a generalization, just in general, but at least for what I'm looking for, these companies have a habit of ghosting you, Like, if I'm not qualified for something, I would at least like a confirmation of some kind, just basically saying, hey, no, you suck. This is not what we're looking for in regards to this position, in regards to this company, in regards to this whatever. But instead, they don't even respond to you. So you're just kind of left in the sense of like either anxiety or dread. Like, ew, like what do I do? It's like, was I good enough for this? Could there be room for development? Could there be something I could approach?
There's always room for improvement.
Always room for improvement, but it's like, is there anything I could do to, I don't know, make things right? But instead, it's just no. They're just these companies. They ghost you. They ghost you.
I mean,
no response.
I mean, it's not unlikely to see that. That happens, I think, in almost any type of industry, whether it's what we do or, all the way up to chemical engine or something like that. I feel like
it definitely is. It's a different kind of stress. And now that we're in this like pandemic time where I don't know if the job market will be kind of regulate itself within the next couple of months as vaccine rollout and things kind of happen, because there's still going to be like a reluctancy for a lot of these companies to even consider hiring. Or if they are going to hire, do they want to hire straight out of college, or would they rather get a guy with like 20 plus years of experience who got laid off his previous job due to COVID and now has no choice but to take this borderline entry level position, which is normally what a college kid or something like that would take, fresh out. Yeah.
Well, you'll just have to cross our fingers. We'll have to wait and see.
Cross your fingers. If things turns out to be a little bit more depressing than anticipated, I'll have to get back to the drawing board and maybe I'll whip up a screenplay on my Camp Jazz idea and then turn that into a movie or something and then make $1 billion.
Hey, Netflix, they're buying. Netflix is buying everything.
Netflix is buying everything, actually. There's so many goddamn movies on that platform now.
I think they said every Friday of this year they are releasing a new movie, which I find that so hard to believe because that company is in like $1 billion debt or something like that. It definitely is really to the point where they're running out of ideas so much that they are just literally throwing money away at useless projects that in the hopes that they'll have like a Stranger Things success where they're like, oh my God, or Outer Banks. That's one that was a small budget thing that blew up overnight.
Yep.
That they want something like that. And like even one show couldn't save that platform because hold on, I gotta do.
Oh, he's limited now, boys. He's got the phone. He's got the phone.
But ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Netflix. How much money or how much debt is in Netflix? And how much debt? Okay, it says $10 billion to $15 billion in debt.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of.
And here's the thing:
money
with the new streaming service like HBO Max and Paramount Plus. A lot of those things that would put content on Netflix don't need Netflix anymore.
Yeah,
they can just throw it on their own streaming services. It's at that point they don't have to pay a fee for putting their stuff on there.
Basically, yeah.
And they can keep the rotation fresh and put more of the content behind the scenes or whatever it may be on their platforms rather than Netflix.
Here's what they do. It's simple. They want to get back out of debt. Here's what they do. Every single one of the films that they want to get the licensing rights to, be it like an independent film or whatever, they take those rights, they throw them on the stock market, and then what if bidders bid on which movie think will be like the biggest success, I know you might be thinking this is a stupid idea, but you know what else is a stupid idea? The stock market. And look what's happened in the last month.
That's because a bunch of kids thought it would be funny to go buy a dying company's stock.
Isn't it great?
We live in a society.
Yes, we do. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. That GME thing, the GameStop thing, one of the funniest and greatest things I've ever seen the internet pull off, hands down.
You think Internet Historian's going to make a video on it?
Absolutely. And when it happens, I'm going to relish and savor every single moment. It's going to be great. I actually have a friend. We have a friend who invested in GME stock, didn't we?
Oh, we did. He really
He did not. He really did something, didn't he?
he did. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even think it's right to just talk about it. It was bad.
It was not good.
Mm-mm.
Lost a lot of money. Potentially.
Hey, look, he wanted to do it. I was like, hey, man, maybe you shouldn't. But hey, he did it anyways.
To the moon, baby. Am I right?
Stop. Just stop. Just stop.
I mean, when you got guys like Elon Musk encouraging this kind of thing.
But he's such a troll. Elon Musk is such a troll,
I know
dude.
he is.
He literally owns like some of the biggest companies in the world, and
Yes.
he's just a meme lord.
Yes. It's kind of funny you mentioned memes because the next stock that these gremlins have their eyes on, they tried to do it again with AMC, but they failed. But they're trying to see if they could replicate the same success with GME with the Roblox.
You mean
believe
the
it or not.
parody Minecraft game?
Yeah, basically. That just went public today. And now, like on the stock exchange, and now they're trying to see, okay, how can we manipulate this to our favor? And Roblox has the potential to potentially blow up the same way GameStop did because a lot of investors don't know how to invest in a good direct video game, you know?
Yeah, because name a video game that has its own stock. Like
It's usually just like a developer.
Yeah, not just the game
The
itself.
game itself. Yeah, because like there's no Minecraft stock. There's only just
There's
Microsoft
Microsoft stock.
and potentially Mojang.
I don't know if Mojang
Actually,
has
no.
stock.
That's actually no.
Mojang's owned by Microsoft.
So just just
It might be
Microsoft.
under. That might be under that. I don't-
Umbrella term, probably. Yeah.
yeah, no. I don't really. I don't dabble much in the stocks, so I
neither
couldn't.
do I. I just dabble in the memes of the stock market, which is probably the best part.
It is kind of funny when people get mad, but at the same time, it's also like I guess I can see why they're getting mad, but again, I don't know too much. I have a buddy who's really into the stocks. He would know more about it than I would.
But at the same time, I just think to myself, it's like, imagine having that just kind of money to just take a gamble on something like that, you know?
I know I wouldn't want to. You know,
if I had the money to gamble on the stock market, and I could, maybe I consider.
I would
it.
have to be at least like a millionaire just to be like, oh, you know what? Sure, let me throw something away.
Stocks. Am I right?
Yeah, no, I don't have the luxury to throw that kind of stuff away.
You and me both, but you know, some people just have more guts than I do. Clearly,
For that, when it comes to that, yeah, fine. When it comes to financial stuff, I'd rather be financially secure than worried that I'm going to lose everything. You know,
but you know what is going to give me financial security? Making the Camp Jazz movie a thing.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's like me making a joke that me and my buddy want to make a Star Wars movie based on the Gonk droid. We just want to call it Gonk, a Star Wars story. We've talked about it for the past couple of years, and
Why is that a genius idea? Wait, hold on.
yeah, well, that's what we're saying. Like we're like Disney, hey Disney, if you're listening to this, I know you aren't, but like seriously,
What if I mean that's so genius.
if you're talking about hardcore fans would love a Gonk movie.
I want a Gonk movie.
Who doesn't want a Gonk movie? It's one of the most lovable droids in the Star Wars universe.
He's Gonk.
Yeah, he just says Gonk. That's it. We were going to talk about his journey from the first Death Star all the way to the last Death Star.
That's so genius.
I know.
It's like what happens in between, you know?
It's like I want to know what happens during Empire Strikes Back with our Gonk droid.
And just think of how all the cool and crazy and wacky characters they can have in something like this, you know?
You could have the mouse droid.
You could.
You could have a pet. Oh my God! We're writing this thing right now. This is genius. Why can't Disney make a good Star Wars movie like that?
I don't know.
We're back on it again. I'm back on the
You know
the
who
sequel trilogy's bad.
Also think of it like this, you know, technically the Gonk droid has a lot of history, you know? Star Wars Battlefront 2, OG Battlefront. That was like the health droid or the ammo droid.
The ammo droid. He was the ammo droid.
Yeah, he was the ammo droid.
In Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated series, they used Gonk droids as bombs to blow up a base.
But instead, you following just a Gonk droid. It's like
It's like
that's genius.
it is. They like everyone. Always,
Taika Waititi, if he's listening to this podcast right now, you are sitting on a gold mine.
like I'm literally giving you just a free idea.
Free
I would
idea
I
right
would
now.
not be mad if you took it and ran with it. Like as long as maybe I get invited to the premiere, that's all I'm asking for.
Nah, man, you need to cast me as the Gonk droid.
No, let's get let's get Sam Witwer to voice the Gonk. You know,
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Or they can go like, or maybe they can go like a B list or a C list actor that's actually like really, really talented. Like they got Pedro Pascal. Why don't they get another Game of Thrones star who's like popular?
Or
but
they
not-
could just do Vin Diesel, go the Groot routes and see, you know, it says I am Groot. They just says Gonk, but with different passions.
I don't know. I feel like that might be a little bit too weird because Vin Diesel's already does the Groot, the Groot thing. So he might have to.
They don't like to combine their Star Wars and Marvel stuff.
They don't. For whatever
Because everyone's like, Sebastian Stan would play a great Luke Skywalker. And I'm like, yes.
we probably would, yeah, but they're not going to cast
He
him.
looks like a young Mark Hamill, but like.
And he's a terrific actor, too.
He is. You know, I haven't seen him in. He's in Gossip Girl, I'm pretty sure. That's the only thing I can name him outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know if you know him in anything else.
I'm actually going to do a role reversal right now. I have Sebastian Stan's on lookup right now, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay,
right here.
what films is he in?
He was in I, Tonya. Well, that doesn't really count because I was post Winter Soldier. The Martian. He wasn't The Martian, wasn't he? Okay.
Oh, yeah, he was in The Martian. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was in The Covenant.
The Covenant, like Alien Covenant?
Not Alien Covenant. This is it's a 17th century feudal movie, I think.
Oh, okay.
And Gossip Girl, we already said. Once Upon a Time, if you're into that.
What's like the TV show?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was Black Swan. He was in Black Swan.
With the
Natalie Portman
Yeah,
and Mila Kunis.
I haven't seen that movie, so.
Yeah. Sebastian Stan.
Okay, so he's got a pretty decent
I mean,
filmography outside of the Marvel.
I mean, you just have to be in a Marvel movie for your film resume to essentially just be kind of top tier just by default.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. saved his career.
It also made him like the richest man in Hollywood for a minute now, didn't it?
Yeah, I think The Rock's still the richest man in Hollywood,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird to think about, you know?
He's in a lot of movies.
He's in
though.
that's what I'm saying. That's probably the only
I
reason
think
because he's
Robert
in a lot
Downey
of
Jr.
stuff.
would probably eclipse him if he was in just more movies, but I think he just chooses not to be.
Well, Robert Downey Jr.
Doesn't have to be.
The only movies I remember him being in during his time as Iron Man was The Judge and the Sherlock Holmes movies.
And then he was almost exclusively just Tony Stark.
I'm pretty sure they're making one more Sherlock Holmes though with him in it and Jude Law, which I'm excited for.
I hope there's some great memes. I know they're not very meme-worthy movies, but they just kind of
The
are
only one I
sometimes.
could ever think of is the discombobulation one. Like discombobulate.
What a great meme. Very good movies, too.
I like them. Yeah.
they're nice.
I think, I mean, of course, people would say Benedict Cumberbatch is.
Not the same. It's not the same. It's not really supposed to be the same.
It's not really because it's definitely, well, it's made for TV, so it's not
and
a
also
movie.
set in modern day. And you know, they're trying to be little period pieces, which, you know, it may make sense.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to go off the, Arthur Conan Doyle, like, kind of time period.
Yeah. So there's like a Kong versus Godzilla movie. What would happen if there was a Sherlock Holmes versus James Bond movie?
No. That's weird.
That's like weird. You ever wonder if a movie exec would say the same thing about a Gonk movie?
Yeah, but like that's better.
But think of it like this. Two British people and they just point their guns at each other.
But James Bond and Sherlock, they're more meticulous than just running gun kind of thing.
That is true.
I mean, maybe the Daniel Craig Bond's a little bit more running gun, but I think they're just trying to, go for more of the action side
So
of it.
if we were having a battle royale between all the James Bonds, who do you think would come out on top and why would it be Pierce Brosnan?
Because he had the most action-packed movies.
Probably, yeah.
He also had some of the worst movies, if I'm being honest with you. His only really the only good one was Goldeneye.
And even that one's kind of mixed.
I just like it because Sean Bean's in it. I'm a sucker for Sean Bean.
I mean, Sean Bean, right? You know?
Yeah. What was he? 006? Was he 006 or something?
I think it was.
Yeah.
What was the one with the space laser? Was that Tomorrow Never Dies or was that Die Another Day? Like the satellite, like the Arctic space
They
laser?
had the guy who basically he turned himself into a white man, like the bad guy turned himself into a white man.
Oh, yeah.
Crap, I forget which one it is. I forget which one had the space laser. It's in the James Bond video game, 007 Legends on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
My favorite video game
I
of all
played that
time.
game. I actually enjoyed it. But I was like 13, so like I didn't know any better.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. You know, you couldn't play Call of Duty, but you could play this, you know?
I couldn't play GTA, but I could play that.
The James Bond game where I shoot people with my MP5, you know?
Yeah. Oh, wait, what is it? Did you look it up or?
No.
I got it. You want me to do it? Let's go back to
I
normal.
feel like you enjoy doing the classic Mike McDonald research project.
Wasn't Halle Berry in that movie?
The one with the space laser?
I think Halle Berry was in it.
It might have been. She was in one of the Pierce Brosnan ones. That I remember.
I think it's it's not Die Another Day, is it?
Is
Is it The World's Not Enough? Hold on.
Well, there's
No, I think it is Die Another Day.
Is it Die Another Day?
Yeah, it's Die Another Day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Die Another Day.
Okay. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, Halle Berry's in it.
It is Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. It was the last. I'm pretty sure this was the last one he did. Oh,
Okay.
Madonna was also in that movie.
Oh,
she did
that's
the
right,
song,
wasn't
and then she was in the movie for like 5 minutes as like a fencing instructor.
That was weird.
Yeah. Talk about a weird cameo.
That was a weird.
It's almost like what do you call it?
It's like Matt Damon in Thor Ragnarok.
Or Matt Damon in Interstellar, where he was the bad guy. Why is Matt Damon just like Matt Damon should just stick to doing cameos because it's way more funny to be like, hey, it's Matt Damon.
It's Matt Damon. There he is.
It's my favorite actor from hit movies like Good Will Hunting and the Bourne series.
And The Martian and Chasing Amy. He was in Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
Clerks. I think
Was he in Clerks?
Was he in Clerks?
No, I don't think he was in Clerks. That was a small budget film. Oh wait, Matt Damon was in Clerks. Like Samuel Jackson. Stan Lee was in
Stan Lee was in
Mallrats.
Mallrats, but that was was a cameo for that one. Yeah. Was that what we're talking about?
Oh yeah, what were we talking about? We really went off on a tangent there. Wait. We're going back to the battle royale scenario.
The battle royale. Okay, yeah. Of all the James Bonds thrown together,
We
who
said-
would win? And would it be
It would definitely be like Last Man Standing would be Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig.
I feel like between the two of them, it'd be Daniel Craig or Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, that would be the final two. I think Sean Connery would be a close third, but that's just me because I'm a little biased.
I
He's
think
my
Roger
favorite
Moore would
Bond.
just be the first one to die.
Yeah. Well, wait, who was the guy who made the parody? Who was the guy who made the parody James Bond? Because he made a parody Casino Royale before Casino Royale was a movie.
You're not talking like Austin Powers, are
No,
you?
no. There was like there was
You're
a spoof before Austin Power. Hold on, I could look up. I forget if it was a spoof or was it actually based on a real script. Casino Royale. I'm doing it again. The wacky send up to the James Bond film. David Nevin. That's who it is. David Nevin would die first.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a spoof on James Bond before Austin Powers, 1967.
Okay.
Definitely go check it out if you haven't.
Well, that was okay. So there's that. Roger Moore would probably be the first to die. I feel like it would the final. Oh, so, he'd be funny. What if it's between Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan? But Pierce Brosnan actually is the one that loses, but it's not because of Daniel Craig. It's because of the other person. Remember from Skyfall? Take the bloody shot, and then it's just.
Kind of forget that movie if I'm being honest with you.
You forget Skyfall?
I like it. It was my first Bond experience in a theater, but I honestly
too.
forget the movie.
You forget the movie? That was a good movie. Many people say it's.
I remember Spectre more, and I didn't really like Spectre that much.
Rewatch.
I have
that
it on DVD. I can watch it.
Rewatch that one. It's really good. Who played the villain in that one?
That wasn't the same guy who showed up in Spectre, was it? No. Wait, was it the guy
Who was
from
like
No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, guy from No Country for Old Men. Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
One of the best actors of the modern era.
He killed Judi Dench in it, right? That was the one where he killed Judi Dench.
I think that's either he killed Judi Dench or Judi Dench just died.
I think she got shot.
I think she got shot. Yeah.
It was in the church at on the Bond estate. That was cool though because you saw I remember the ending with the Aston Martin at his house. Like that was pretty cool. Like it was the classic car.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got me thinking other battle royale scenarios of other like Sherlock Holmes, for example.
I mean,
Or Doctor Who's. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but I know
not
there's a lot
really.
of them.
Not really the same though.
Well, they're all technically in different time thing, like right? They're not. They're all technically Doctor Who.
Well, it's all the same person, but they get reanimated into different, shall we just say, subjects, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's just called the Doctor. He doesn't really have a name. It's just the Doctor. And
Thank you. I don't really know much about the history, so
well, it's also just kind of an excuse for them to recast it if the actor gets sick of the role. You know?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Like James Bond, where they just kind of actually Skyfall ruined the whole 007 thing because people thought, oh, 007 just like James Bond's just a code name, but then Skyfall is like, no, he's a real person. Like here's his family's gravestones with the name Bond on it. Like no, he's actually James Bond.
That's kind of cool, though, when you think about it.
I mean, I guess it's a retcon because no one really knew exactly if it was.
It was never actually fully explained. I think it's just kind of just something that people accept, you know?
I'm fine with it. I don't care.
I've always just kind of accepted that for the most part, there's never really a reset with the James Bond universe unless everyone gets recast, you know? Because Judi Dench has been in like...
She was in the Pierce Brosnan
She was in the Pierce Brosnan ones, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the only one, though. I don't think the rest of them came over.
No, I think it was just...
Well, out of the last Bond, that's the only one I can vividly remember coming over.
You also got to remember a lot of that supporting cast probably just said, no, I don't want to be in
Yeah, because they weren't really that good besides GoldenEye.
Yeah.
They were trying to hype on that late 90s, early 2000s nostalgia of just action movies from the 80s.
But doing it with James Bond just kind of like ruined it.
Because James Bond's not really an action movie.
He's not the same kind. You want like an espionage kind of crime
that's the
drama,
one thing
you
the
know?
Daniel Craig ones do good. They balance it out with espionage and action pretty
They really
well.
do, yeah.
You know?
And also just Daniel Craig is a terrific actor in his own right, so...
He is.
He really is.
Who do you think the next James Bond's going to be? Because like, there's been a list of like, I feel like we've actually had this conversation before on another episode.
I don't know if we did, but I think I told you. I know it's like a meme at this point, but I really want to see Idris Elba do it, dude.
You really do?
I think he'd be. He'd be really good.
I'm not saying he wouldn't, but I'm a big supporter of Richard Madden from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. I think Richard Madden would be my second choice personally.
Because he's on the up and up. He's going to be in the Eternals. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's going to be in the Marvel movie. He's making that Marvel money.
So it's like, why would he want to take that James Bond
But he
money?
essentially he did a James Bond type in a Netflix series called Bodyguard. Not The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, just Bodyguard. It basically, I think he was a British Secret Service agent, which is essentially kind of close enough to an MI6 agent.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great series. And it kind of maybe like, I could see him as Bond. He seemed like the kind of guy who... would do it. Actually, speaking of that show, it had one of the most intense opening episodes I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, the opening episode was Richard Madden was on a train with his two children, and he's noticed something suspicious. And there was this woman who went to the bathroom. He's like, he's being like, ex-military and British Secret Service. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go check this out.
Okay.
He opens the bathroom stall, and it's a lady there with a suicide vest on.
Oh my God.
And literally the whole episode is him like not alerting anyone and just talking to like the conductors and stuff like that and like trying to solve it before they get to the station. And it's one of the most intense scenes I've seen for a TV show ever.
Is the rest of the series good or does it fall off?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good. All right, it's only like 7 episodes. It's like pretty short.
Did it get canceled?
I think it just was a one season thing.
Just one thing. It's just in general.
I think I don't know I think it was originally on the BBC and then Netflix just picked it up for airing. But
okay, yeah.
No, highly recommend. Definitely would suggest it. At least watch the first episode. It was really good.
Yeah. I was gonna say that plot almost sounds like a rejected Taken script.
That the problem is it goes into then more just British politics. It kind of pulls a Star Wars prequel where they kind of focus on politics for a while and he has to protect like this hated secretary of something. Because she's doing bad stuff in the Middle East or something. I don't know.
And that's how the suicide bomber just kind of gets into play.
Yeah, well, he kind of gets picked up as this bodyguard because of the whole terrorist stuff. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a few years, but I just vaguely remember that there's something, a subplot with politics in the Middle East and stuff like that. So,
Middle Eastern politics subplots are very interesting.
I mean, especially when it's not American but British.
So you kind of get like a different...
You get a different perspective because...
And it's less America,
Yeah. They're not there for the oil. Then again, are we even there for the oil anymore?
Maybe.
I don't even know anymore, dude.
These gas prices, man.
It's almost $3.
$3 a gallon.
But then again, I think that's the stuff down in Texas anyways. So.
There's a whole bunch of different factors. I don't understand how the gas industry works. I need enough money to get an electric car, That way I don't have to...
But here's the problem with electric cars. Where do we put the batteries after they're gone? Because like battery acid's bad for the environment.
I mean,
it leaks into the groundwater.
Maybe it's possible then by then they'll find a way to repurpose that kind of stuff. We can only hope, right?
I mean, if anyone can
do
it.
And also, would battery acid leave a smaller carbon or leave like a smaller environmental impact than?
Well, I think seeping into the groundwater is a larger impact for the environment because not just for humans, but for animals in general.
They're just fish. It's just salmon. It's okay. They can die.
They could go into wildlife preserves, and next thing you know, you got deers drinking it, then they die, and then all that stuff. You've taken a biology class before. You've seen if one species of a population gets wiped out, that means it messes up the whole ecosystem. What do you think the title of this episode should be?
I kind of want to have it something appendix related. I'm not going to lie.
Why?
Even though we only talked about appendixes.
The problem is,
for the first 2 minutes.
haven't even mentioned that except for the beginning.
Well, that it was a strong opening, you know?
It was probably one of our best openings.
What if we rename, what would be the title of your Star Wars movie?
Gonk, a Star Wars story.
Just Gonk, a Star Wars story?
Yes, Gonk, Star Wars
What if
story.
what if we just name it just Gonk?
Just the two of us story?
Ooh.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, all right.
That's
the person
cute.
who listens to this podcast, my buddy who's the one like me and him came up with the idea, he'll appreciate it.
This is for you, random stranger.
Yeah, I could shout him out.
Get gonked.
Get gonked.
Maybe that's the name. Get gonked.
Yeah, I'm fine. Whatever. I don't really care. It's kind of late. I'm kind of tired. Maybe we should wrap this up for the night, shouldn't we?
It will be a good place to end this episode of the Just the Two of Us podcast.
I think this is a good place to end until next time.
Until next time. So we hope that this however long this takes was good. I hope it soothes your soul a little bit. We talked about quite a lot tonight, but as to be expected for an episode of this podcast, it's you get what you pay for.
You get what you deserve.
The Joker 2019.
Overrated movie, but anyways,
we will discuss this another time. So thank you. Take care of yourself. I'm Alan Agostino.
and I'm Michael McDonald.
Have a good night, folks.
Just to